Good morning, it's Miss Mansky once again with your first mini lesson of the week. I hope that you had a good Memorial Day weekend and were able to spend some time outside and with family. Without further ado, let's get started with today's lesson. You'll notice that we're not talking about informational text anymore. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about characterization in fictional text. So what I want to start off with is just asking you this question. If I asked you to describe one of your friends, what are the three adjectives or words that describe nouns that you would choose? So for me personally, my friend Maria, if I was going to choose different words to describe Maria, I would have like several options really. So one of them would be that she has brown hair. She has short brown hair. Um, Another would be that she is really hardworking. She goes to law school to become a lawyer. She's really hardworking. She's kind. She always checks on her friends. And that she's really knowledgeable. She knows a lot about books, knows a lot about music, and she's just a really smart person. So those are four. I asked you to include three, but um, what I want you to think about is what kind of words you chose. Did you describe what your friend looks like on the outside, or did you use words that describe what they're like on the inside? When an author creates a character, they usually tell the reader what the character looks like on the outside, but also what their personality is like on the inside, right? So, words that describe what a character is like on the inside are character traits, and what an author does to describe and develop a character is called characterization. So that includes the outside as well as the inside. And you can see in this infographic that even when authors don't straight up say something, they give you clues through the character's behavior about what that character is like. So these are the terms that we're going to be working with for the next couple of lessons. A character is a person, animal, or other being in a story, and character traits are personality traits based on what someone does, thinks, or says. And as we just discussed on the previous page, characterization is how authors describe and develop characters. So not just their appearance, but also their actions and their words. So just a little example, we have this image on the left. You'll see that there is an older lady using a cane and a younger lady who's carrying her groceries and seems to be helping her walk. What traits would you use to describe these people? So first we want to look at their outside, right? So the woman on the left, she's old, she has short white hair, and she uses a cane to walk. The woman on the right, she's young, she has long brown hair, and she's strong, right? So we see her carrying the groceries. She is able to help this other woman. So these are what they look like on the outside. And just by looking at this picture, like we can tell a lot about them on the outside. But what we want to be able to do is interpret what characters are like on the inside based on information that an author gives us. So in this picture, we could say a couple of things about the inside, even though there's no words in the picture. The woman on the left, excuse me, we could say the woman on the left is independent, right? She goes grocery shopping even though she needs a cane to walk. She isn't necessarily like expecting other people to help her. But as evidenced by this picture, she's willing to accept help from someone else, right? So she's letting this younger woman help her out. And we could say that the woman on the right is kind, right? So when she sees someone struggling, she's willing to help them and offer them assistance. So what we want to do today is just sort of look at these scenarios and decide whether or not what adjective we would use to describe these characters, right? What is the characterization of the people in these passages? So we have three that we're going to look at, and then there are three in your exit ticket for today. So the first one, Gordon is the most blank friend I have. I know I can count on him. When I'm sad, he comforts me. When I want to play catch, he always joins in. He's the best dog ever. Now, which adjective would we use to describe this character? Would we use the word cruel, which means mean or unkind, or would we use the word dependable, which means that you can rely on somebody when you need them? If we look at the passage, there are several context clues, right? So Gordon is someone that the narrator can always count on. He comforts him when he's sad, and he always plays with him when he wants to play. So we would say that Gordon is dependable, right? Not cruel. He doesn't do anything mean in this passage. We know he's not cruel. Next passage. Sonny opened the door and was shocked at what she saw. The mudslide had destroyed everything in its path. Nevertheless, Sonny was still blank that he could rebuild his life. So a key word in this passage is this word rebuild, right? So Sonny opens his door, everything is destroyed. Maybe his house, maybe his yard or his car or something like that. But Sonny is confident that he can recover from this. So what will we describe him as? Hopeful or lazy? Well, the word that we want to use here is hopeful, right? Because even though this terrible thing has happened, Sonny is still optimistic that things could work out. That means that he's hopeful, right? Lazy would be if he was just like, I'll figure it out in the morning or something like that. Okay, last passage. The evil scientist set out in search of small creatures for her next experiment. She was blank enough to steal cats and dogs who wandered too far from home. Her heart was a cold stone. Would we describe this character as generous or cruel, right? So we talked about cruel already. That means like mean or unkind. Generous is somebody who is willing to make sacrifices or give up things to make other people happy, right? So in this passage, we learned that this evil scientist steals cats and dogs who wandered too far from home. That doesn't really seem like something a generous person would do. So we know that this character is it's cruel, right? And that's the adjective that we would use to describe her. Okay. So for your exit ticket today, there is a series of multiple choice questions similar to the ones that we just looked at. So I'll give you a little preview of that right now. This is what the exit ticket looks like. So there are 3 passages, and what you are doing is selecting the adjective that best describes that character in the passage from this uh, list right here. So passage 1 says, Cora has been blank since she was a baby. When she was only 9 months old, she crawled into the kitchen, opened the cabinet, and got herself a snack. How would we describe this character? Is she independent or is she loyal? Passage 2 says, You can do this, Hannah told herself. She had been practicing her routine for months and felt blank. In fact, Hannah's confidence was what set her apart from other gymnasts. Would we describe this character as generous or confident? And passage 3, my older sister refuses to do anything for anyone else. She is the most blank person I know. She won't help me with my homework, even though she already knows all the answers. So would we describe the character described here as gentle or selfish? And you have to select one from the list. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you are having a good start to your digital learning for this week. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.